we are live and we are getting set for our main event of the evening, a best 2 of 3 falls matches. And there are 3 stages to this matchup. The first fall must take place in an amateur wrestling matchup. We'll talk more about that one in a little bit. The second fall will take place in a no disqualification submission match. And of course, the third, if need be, we will be seeing a solid steel cage encapsulate the ropes of the professional wrestling ring.
The key word is if needed. You've got the last real wrestler, Luke Richmond, in the ring. We might as well go ahead and give him the victory in the amateur wrestling match. And then he's gonna tap out Brandon Groom, and he's gonna walk out with the Oklahoma Championship. The steel cage is but an afterthought.
Well, I would not be one to so quickly discredit Brandon Groom, your BPW Oklahoma champion. He's been reigning as BPW Oklahoma champion since October 16th of last year, representing this great company all over the state has been Brandon Groom. And of course, you say that Luke Richmond has it in the bag when it comes to the amateur wrestling and submission fortunes of our professional wrestling match coming up soon. Brandon Groom, an amateur wrestling state champion, Division I athlete. This man has all of the accomplishments and all of the necessary skills to walk away still Oklahoma champion here tonight.
He might indeed have the skills, but he is not the active practitioner of those. Sure, he's got the BPW championship, but he's not in there in an amateur wrestling environment every day. Luke Richmond is constantly spending time on the mats. He's constantly training in that collegiate style of amateur wrestling. And now he gets to put it on display against Brandon Groom and use it to walk away with the BPW Oklahoma Championship.
This first contest is under amateur rules. The wrestler with the most points is declared the victor unless a pinfall occurs.
Ladies and gentlemen, as CM Burnham said, amateur wrestling rules apply for this matchup, and you're going to be seeing a lot of technicality. This amateur style, which Brandon Groom and Luke Richmond are very well versed in. This is a matchup specifically tailored to these two individuals, wouldn't you say, James?
Very similar, and yet almost complete opposites are Brandon Groom and Luke Richmond. But this amateur wrestling contest starting things off up both competitors' alleys here. We're going to have to see which one has a tad bit more skill and might be able to keep their opponent's shoulders pinned to the mat or win on points here. Attempting a takedown now is Luke Richmond. He's got one leg though, keeping his balance for now. Now acquiring Richmond's leg.
Single leg takedown attempt. Yeah, sweeping the leg. This is an opportunity here for Brandon Groom.
2
points awarded to Brandon Groom for the takedown on Luke Richmond.
Luke Richmond, he can't afford to get in his own head here.
Now, starting in referee's position here after the points were earned by Groom. Resuming the contest here with the waist lock. Richmond trying to get that leg. Waist control. Come on, Richmond.
Waist lock applied here by Luke Richmond. You're not going to see anything super flashy out of these two right now. It is an all-out brawl. Really, this is about getting into the mentality, into the mind of your opponent for the remaining 2 matches, if we even get to that third one.
Big slam down there, trying to drive the air out of Brandon Groom. Now attempting for that pinfall, but he couldn't keep his shoulders down. Only a 1 count in amateur wrestling rules. Just have to make sure those shoulders are pinned to the mat. It's basically struggling to get out there. Now maintaining that waist lock is Richmond.
If Of course, if we do see a pinfall, this matchup will automatically be over. This point-based system is only if we cannot see the pin applied in a German suplex of sorts from Luke Richmond.
That's another 2 points. Richmond up now 4-2.
4-2 now in the favor of Luke Richmond, James. What a development.
Additional points there for that suplex. Still maintaining the waist control even after the suplex. Very, very smart maneuver here by Richmond. Finally freeing himself.
Score now 4-3. Still in favor of Richmond.
4-3 now. Groom able to escape the hold. Richmond's still in favor. 1 count. There it is. Pinfall. Brandon Groom, he managed to pull it off after a big throw. You know this is what Luke Richmond, this is not what he expected. Quite frankly, it's not what I expected.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, James. Luke Richmond, he probably walked into this matchup expecting to have that portion of the contest in the bag. Think about the mentality Luke Richmond has to be going through right now. You just lost the first fall. He knows that he's only 1 tap of the mat away from losing his opportunity at the Oklahoma Championship.
But at the same time, all he has to do is find a way to make Brandon Groom submit, and he is 1 step closer to walking away with the Oklahoma Championship.
And professional wrestling fans, you are now going to see something much more tailored and much more of what you are used to seeing here in body progression wrestling. No disqualification rules, anything goes. And the only way that this matchup can end is if one opponent can make their other opponent submit.
They're sweeping the legs of Richmond. Now he's going for a submission, perhaps a cross armbar there into a cradle, but that doesn't do Richmond any good here. Gave him a reversal out, though. Sometimes you make a move like that just to create a little bit of space. He almost got captured there by Groom. Now, the Roman knuckle lock into the waist lock now. And shocking for position, a low back body drop there. Very impressive. Groom there instinctively going for the pin, but it's a submission-only match. Once again, no disqualification.
Yeah, it's not going to help him if he can manage to score a pinfall. He's already done so, though, on Brandon Groom. Sorry, Brandon Groom has to Luke Richmond. Belly-to-belly suplex.
Big back kick there. Groom.
James, I got to ask you, what's your strategy here if you are Luke Richmond? You're down 1 fall in this 2 of 3 falls matchup.
You've got to take advantage of the rules around you. There's no pinfalls. There's no disqualifications. Right now, Brandon Groom is just using momentum to out-wrestle Luke Richmond. Groom with Richmond up on his shoulders.
He's got him up. And down, Groom.
Big military press there.
This man is on fire right now, James. And he's got that submission. He's trying to get that armbar locked in. But Luke Richmond has interlocked the fingers.
That cross armbar. Richmond holding on. That S-grip applied for dear life. If those fingers are separated, Brandon Groom can fully extend the arm of Luke Richmond. Hyperextending the elbow. That's what we're seeing now. Richmond fighting through the pain as that arm is being torqued backwards. Pushing up, shifting his weight over Brandon Groom. Now attempting to go for a rear naked choke of sorts.
I think he's got that locked in right now, James.
He's got it applied, and he's got those legs grapevined around the waist of Brandon Groom.
This might spell trouble right now.
Not only the airways and blood vessels of the neck, but the lungs themselves being compressed by the legs. Brandon Groom is starting to fade. He's got to get free here. Literally fighting for his life. Groom, he's had the wind knocked out of him. Now he's being knocked around by Richmond. Big hip toss there. Oh, Richmond reversed into the ankle lock.
Yeah, this is a great position for Luke Richmond to be in right now. Brandon Groom, he is just, I don't believe that these rope breaks are in effect right now, James. The ankle lock applied. Brandon Groom has nowhere to go. Trying to potentially pull himself out of the ring or loosen some of the force, some of the tension being applied by Luke Richmond currently.
Trying to escape by any means necessary is the BPW Oklahoma champion.
Think about the time which Groom just spent in that ankle lock. The damage that has been done to that left ankle of Brandon Groom is astronomical.
It's no question whether or not damage has been done. It is a question of how much. See Groom favoring that leg as he's shot into the corner. Still showing signs of life, but Richmond just striking Groom with every ounce of energy he can muster. Groom returning the favor, though. Hard into the buckle goes Brandon Groom, courtesy of the Last Real Wrestler.
The Last Real Wrestler trying to prove, trying to establish that he is not only the last real wrestler, that he is the greatest wrestler in body progression wrestling, and that's exactly what the BPW Oklahoma Championship does. That is exactly the status that it applies to whoever holds it. Luke Richmond wants to claim that for himself.
That belt, that title, that glory, it says you're the best of the best. And that's exactly what Brandon Groom has been for the past 6 months. But now Luke Richmond says it's my time to shine. But he's going to have to escape this sleeper hold here by Brandon Groom. Now, very smooth transition by Richmond into the full Nelson. Cramping, your neck's being constricted and pushed forward, but Brandon Groom using the strength in his arms to break the hold and reverse it on Luke Richmond. Richmond stepping on the toes though, floating around and over.
Oh, he's got it in that guillotine, which is currently being applied. Brandon Groom is gonna have to find some way to plant Luke Richmond down.
Guillotine vice. Legs grapevine around him as well, pulling all his body weight down on the hip neck of Groom. Groom fading. Richmond trying to reapply the grapevine. Groom back up to his feet though here. Sends Richmond off.
Big scoop slam from Brandon Groom to Luke Richmond. Clothesline from Groom. He is firing up here tonight. He is looking to walk away still BPW Oklahoma champion. But will Brandon Groom have what it takes to pull out all the stops against Luke?
Men's grit and will being tested here as this match continues. They still have to keep in mind there's a very real possibility this match could enter the cage here as we go into what can be a third and deciding fall if it's needed after this submission match. Beautiful drop kick. Taking to the skies is Brandon Groom.
We don't see Brandon Groom do that often, but anytime we have, it has been completely effective. Richmond rolling through Brandon Groom, pulling it out. No DQ submission rules. This is an opportunity here for Brandon Groom to tie things up.
Richmond starting to fade. Referee checking him. 1, 2. Richmond might be out here. He's holding on. He's catching that last burst of adrenaline. Groom just yanking back on the elbow and shoulder of the last real wrestler.
And Luke Richmond has that ankle lock applied. This crowd is alive here tonight, trying to will Brandon Groom to get another victory, yet another defense of the BPW Oklahoma Championship.
Struggling to make it to their feet right now. Groom the first to do so. Richmond taking advantage of that no disqualification stipulation. No pinfalls, no disqualifications. Your opponent must submit. Now he's getting a chair.
Well, there are no disqualifications. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Richmond, he knows exactly what he's going to have to do if he wants to walk away with the BPW Oklahoma Championship. He might have to put Brandon Groom on the injured reserve.
And I think that's exactly what he's got in mind here.
Oh, right to the ankle and the shin of Brandon Groom.
And he's still not done. He says if Groom does not want to submit, I will continue working over the body part. I will pick it apart like a vulture.
This match is over. This match is done.
Groom had to finally give in. Who knows how much damage was done to that ankle. Look at Luke Richmond, cool, calm, and collected. We're on even ground once again, and now we're going to the steel cage.
Inside the confines of the steel cage. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point, it will take us a few minutes to get the steel cage up and assembled. So it's probably a good idea now for you to get up, to stretch your legs, to get yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, we are about to commence the third fall. In this fall, the only way to win is to climb over the top of the steel cage and both feet touch the floor. The person who does that will be the winner and the Oklahoma champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The BPW Oklahoma Championship is on the line. In our third fall, the best 2 of 3. Now, Luke Richmond and Brandon Groom. We've seen one pinfall tonight. We've seen one submission. So therefore, all those rules are out the window tonight. The only way to win this steel cage matchup, the only way to walk out with the Oklahoma Championship is to climb over the top of the steel cage. And James Southern, your feet must touch the floor if you want to walk away with the gold.
You've got to just beat your opponent to the point where there's no preventing you from escaping the cage. One man will be left laying, and one will climb out and walk away with the gold and the glory here at Heart of a Lion.
Oh, and Luke Richmond sent head first into that steel cage. That's absolutely brutal, James.
Driven face first. Brandon Groom trying to rearrange the facial features of Luke Richmond, now just raining down punches in the corner.
It's a dangerous position, a precarious position to be in for Luke. Brandon Groom out of the corner. Shotgun drop kick to a seated Luke Richmond.
compressing his chest and back between his own feet and that chair and the cage. See Groom trying to escape early. Luke Richmond having none of it.
I want to address that German suplex from the top rope. That was brutal. I want to address the elephant in the room. Brandon Groom, right before we went to break, had just suffered a submission loss to Luke Richmond. That ankle still has to be feeling the effects. And it's going to make it a much harder climb to the top for Brandon Groom, James.
And Luke Richmond has set his target. He's got that ankle in sight. Groom creating a little separation at the moment. But essentially right now, he's a one-legged man in a cage match, and I don't like his odds of climbing out.
Oh, right to the back of Richmond. Brandon Groom, that's a man who knows how to utilize a weapon or two. One of the most well-rounded professional athletes that you will find in the state of Oklahoma is Brandon Groom. Looks like he might be going for that pile driver.
Instead goes Groom. Richmond finding a way to rally. That ankle coming into play here. Now the chair is back. And it's across Brandon Groom's back. That ankle has already been the target. Now it looks like Luke Richmond has decided the back as well will be zeroed in on, trying to eliminate the foundation, the frame of Brandon Groom. And in the cage now is Luke Richmond.
Trying to scale his way to the top. Up and over is what Luke Richmond will be looking for.
And Groom making it to his feet.
He's got Richmond up and down. Big back suplex. Both men are down, and there is a cage to be climbed right now, James.
That Olympic style slam, and now Brandon Groom trying to rally, but you see Luke Richmond up almost the exact same time. Now they're just trading blows here. Forth, anything you can do, I can do better. I'm trying to take an opportunity to scale the cage. He's trying to fight off Richmond.
It's a hard task to do. From the top, drop kick goes Groom. And down goes Richmond.
Using those ropes to springboard off of and drive both feet into the face of Luke Richmond. Now returning the favor with the chair. These two now, both of them having chairs. Richmond there knocked down by the sheer force of the swing by Brandon Groom. Groom now starting to fire up. Richmond back to his feet now. A little dazed. Groom taking advantage.
Oh, look at that, where flesh collides with steel.
Right in between the cage and the ropes. And sliding down and experiencing that cheese grater-like effect of the cyclone fencing. Luke Richmond taking a moment to ask the crowd, is this who you cheer for, as Brandon Groom lays it in? Now giving the fans an up-close and personal view. But remember, you have to climb over the top and out. Going out through the door does you no good. The match continues. The pinfall submission, no good. Now Luke Richmond's introducing a ladder into play. What could he have in mind with that?
I'm not too certain, but these two men can only become more dangerous and more effective the greater the weaponry becomes inside the ring.
Taking full advantage of this opportunity to round up some plunder. Richmond trying to make it back to his feet here. Crawl away, create just the slightest amount of distance from Luke Richmond. Reverse that Irish whip attempt. Now sending Richmond into the grates.
These two men could go all around the body progression wrestling gym here tonight.
Slammed against the side of the cage is Luke Richmond by Brandon Groom. This has been the momentum shift that Brandon Groom has been waiting for. Now he's got to capitalize if he wants to retain the Oklahoma Championship. Being introduced to that wall, you see the side of his head striking flush against that wall.
I'm shocked it didn't put a dent in that drywall, James. Brandon Groom is one hard-headed individual.
When he sets his mind to a goal, he achieves it. That is how he became the BPW Oklahoma champion. Richmond now with a table. Looks like he's adding it into the mix. We've got tables, ladders, and chairs now inside the steel cage. Chaos, it's going to ensue even more so now. Weaponry has been introduced and both men are in very precarious positions.
Whip out of the ropes, drop toe hold for Luke Richmond, and Groom sent skull first into that ladder. Luke Richmond now trying to clear his way. A lot of weapons in that ring right now, James. A lot can be done and a lot will be done. A lot has to be done if you want to put Brandon Groom down for the Oklahoma Championship. This man is the heart of BPW. Set it up here.
Jockeying for position.
And a suplex onto the ladder. And Luke Richmond might have just taken himself out almost as near as he has Brandon Groom.
It didn't work out for either man, but they both took the impact of that ladder. Richmond the first to his feet, though.
Richmond trying to scale that steel cage. It is a long way up. It is going to be a hard way down. Alongside Luke Richmond. Both these men in bad positions here.
What does Groom have in mind?
What is Groom looking for here? This isn't going to be good for either man. Groom now superplex to Luke Richmond.
Sending Richmond halfway across the ring. Both men down. Somebody's got to make it to their feet and climb up, over, and out of this cage.
Bicycle kick there from Brandon Groom.
He's rocking and rolling now.
Up on the shoulders here. What's he looking for?
Richmond fought free. Groom's got him up.
And down.
Big spinning side slam there by Brandon Groom. This crowd is calling for him. He thinks he's got to do a little bit more damage before he can put Luke Richmond away. Setting up that table in the center of the ring. Took a little too long getting it set up. Richmond trying for that Olympic-style slam. We saw it earlier, but his legs gave out on him. Just not quite enough to get Brandon Groom up, over, and around into the table. Going for it again.
Trying to lift him up. Groom slipping out of it, though. Up into the fireman's carry. Groom has him now in his clutches. Dizzying out his rail wrestler opponent. The last one, says Luke Richmond. Wait a minute, is that a power drill?
That is a power drill that is being taken to the ankle of Brandon Groom.
Good God, how is Brandon Groom going to be able to overcome these odds?
We are seeing permanent damage being done to Brandon Groom right here, courtesy of Luke Richmond. No submissions, no pinfalls, no relief for Brandon Groom here as that ankle lock is cinched in tight by Luke Richmond. Going for something else, but he decided he's not done torturing that left ankle. Now grapevining around the knee. Groom starting to lose life. He's starting to go limp. He's starting to pass out from the pain. Became just too much for Groom to take. Richmond decides he's gonna take the stairway to heaven.
Luke Richmond
out for a leisurely Sunday stroll.
Brandon Groom, he has a clutch of that left ankle.
Luke Richmond was moments away from freedom, from escaping the cage. Now Brandon Groom has his ankle. Richmond between the ladder and the cage. Innovative offense here from Brandon Groom.
Yeah, that's one way to try and keep your opponent at bay. Luke Richmond's just trying to maintain his balance right now.
Hanging out on that top rope. What is Groom doing here?
Richmond's just trying to create a little bit of space, create a little bit of distance, try and get away from Brandon Groom at any means necessary.
Trading blows in the most precarious of places. Both men have to be extremely cautious here.
Brandon Groom now, uppercut to Luke Richmond.
Back and forth they go. Both men, neither one wants to fall. Groom almost losing his balance there, taking his seat on the top rope. That's the only thing that saved him. He almost fell between the ropes and the cage.
Richmond is just a few feet away, a few steps up the ladder and over the top of the cage. No one said you had to climb down the cage. You could surely fall and still walk away with that Oklahoma championship.
As long as both feet hit the floor, it doesn't matter. Groom making his move here now, straddling the cage. Halfway over. Luke Richmond doesn't even have one leg over. He's now at the disadvantage.
Richmond sent crashing through that table.
That big right hand of Brandon Groom. And he has escaped the cage and still BPW Oklahoma champion, Brandon Groom.
What a matchup, what a war that these two men have ensued and been embroiled in. Tonight, Brandon Groom walks away the better man and still BPW Oklahoma champion. Ladies and gentlemen, what a night it has been. What a night of action here tonight at Body Progression Wrestling live at the Body Progression Gym in Bristow, Oklahoma. For James Southern, I have been Walker Stewart, and this has been BPW Heart of the Lion. Check us out on Facebook, Body Progression Wrestling, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, real quick. Just like we saw at the first, the whole reason this show happens is because one kid, Daniel the Lion Rose, had the heart of a lion, and he's inspired me and BPW. You guys are with us from the start to the end. You are BPW, and I know everyone in this room has the heart of the lion. I can tell how you cheer. I can tell by the look in your eyes. And I got one more thing to say. After tonight, there's one of the men that I believe also has the heart of the lion. He's not my favorite, I'm not his, but I want you to give it up for Luke Richmond.